Up next, University of Hawaii students get organized to fight a proposed ban on alcohol at UH football games. The Student Government Association at the University of Hawaii is fighting the proposed ban on alcohol at Rainbow Warrior football games. The Aloha Stadium Authority takes up the issue next week. Tina Shelton reports students have a unique plan of attack. Tina?
Joe, the students plan to tailgate on the UH administration lawn. They won't bring alcohol, but they say adults should be able to drink at Aloha Stadium.
Student government leaders are making signs to match their point of view, that the UH interim president and the lieutenant governor shouldn't be able to take beer away from ticket holders and tailgaters at Aloha Stadium.
We don't support banning alcohol at Aloha Stadium. It takes the responsibility and privilege of that away from students and UH fans alike.
The students also sense what they feel is hypocrisy.
The position of this campus isn't consistent. Ban it at Aloha Stadium and not at San Sheriff and Les Murakami.
The UH president says fans at campus venues don't misbehave the way they have at Aloha Stadium.
We should give a temporary restraining order and eventually a permanent injunction kicking anybody out of the stadium who misbehaves. This is quite simply an overreaction, and it's punishing those loyal UH football fans who know how to act right.
Students here at the campus center are already signing up for their school identification cards. Classes will be back underway by the time the Stadium Authority votes next week.
Some students do think it's right to eliminate drinking from all campus-related events.
I think it's a good idea because it is a school environment and the majority of students are not old enough to drink anyways.
But thousands of football fans are old enough to drink, and the Stadium Authority must consider their wants and the contracts already in place with beer suppliers.
The lieutenant governor isn't budging on his proposal that alcohol be banned. He says game-related drinking sets a bad example for Hawaii's youth. Joe.
All right.
University of Hawaii Student Senate organized a protest today. Their message: keep your hands off our beer.
The lieutenant governor floated the idea of an alcohol ban as a response to rowdy and sometimes violent behavior by a handful of fans at past football games.
I think we all practice responsible drinking at games. So every game I've been to, it's never gone out of control.
Students who oppose the move say this punishes the whole on behalf of a few. Hundreds rallied against the proposal at the UH Manoa campus.
Woo! Keep it out of Aloha Stadium!
The Student Senate says no one consulted students, and they say there hasn't been enough time for debate.
This is about, personal rights. This is about our rights to be responsible adults and responsible consumers of alcohol.
An alcohol ban is not on the table for other UH sports venues such as the Stan Sheriff Center or Les Murakami Stadium.
I wouldn't go if I couldn't drink at the game because that's half the fun is drinking. Tailgating before the game.
Thank you for coming out and supporting us.
Thank you.
Fans of all ages say they oppose the idea. Most say it's important to drink responsibly, but they believe laws already on the books can take care of disorderly behavior and underage drinking.
Well, I've been around the block a little bit. I've been going to the stadium for 30 years, and they were talking about hiring more police to enforce an alcohol ban. Well, hire them to enforce the existing law.
Yeah!
Other moves to control drinking include recent alcohol bans in 5 of the 7 UH dorms at Manoa starting this fall.
So there's no need to mess with tradition. So we want tailgating, we want the right to drink if we're 21. That's the way we want it to be.
The Aloha Stadium Authority 9-member board meets for the first time on the topic tomorrow. Starting at 10 o'clock, they'll hear from Lieutenant Governor Duke Aiona, UH President David McLean, and the public. The meeting is in the hospitality room at Aloha Stadium.
UH officials support the alcohol ban within the stadium, but McLean is expected to testify tomorrow that he'd like to see drinking allowed during tailgating. A stadium spokesman says it's unlikely a ban would be in effect by the USC game. Joe?
Should be.
Fans who like to have an alcoholic beverage at Aloha Stadium will be able to order it, at least for now. The Stadium Authority deferred voting on an alcohol ban during UH football games, saying they need more time to study the impact it would have. But the debate is still far from over.
I'm still optimistic that it can happen this season, and I'm still hoping that it will happen this season, and I will continue. I will continue to push for this because it is the right thing to do.
Nearly half the undergraduates are of drinking age at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and we deserve the right and the opportunity to be responsible consumers.
The Stadium Authority has formed a committee to further study the issue, like how to prevent concessions from selling alcohol and how to enforce a ban.
A federal judge today said he may scuttle
tailgate parties at the Aloha Stadium parking lot for UH football games. The unanimous vote kicks off a process that may take 2 months before it's finalized. Tina Shelton reports.
The consumption of alcoholic beverages in the parking lot is prohibited at any high school event and at any regular season intercollegiate sporting event.
That's the way the board unanimously wants the Aloha Stadium rules to be changed. And for many, it will change a way of life. Parking lot partying has included alcohol since the stadium was built 30 years ago.
Go Warriors!
Will this punish the majority of well-behaved drinkers?
And they're the ones that are going to be inconvenienced. And are we going to allow the tail to wag the dog?
Hey, wait a minute. Don't feel the majority are being punished. I think these kind of rules are made to protect the majority.
The board will allow beer sales inside the stadium to continue, in part because vendors can refuse sales to intoxicated people, and in part because the stadium budget would take a huge hit.
We decided on the parking lot first because as far as the stadium proper goal, which is the vendors and concessionaires in the stadium, we have a contract with them. And to buy them out on a contract with 6 years remaining is not practical at this time.
It really does nothing. Alcohol will still be sold inside the stadium. How does banning it outside the stadium do anything to control the misconduct that happened inside the stadium?
This may increase attendance, this may decrease attendance, it's hard to tell. Some people have told me that they'll come if the environment in the stadium is a healthier and safer environment.
The next step is public hearings, probably within the next 2 months. Tina Shelton, KHON2 News.
So until further notice, alcohol at tailgate parties for UH football games is still legal. A ban on alcohol outside Aloha Stadium before and during UH football games. The first vote in September did not count because of a misstep in the process. After unanimous approval this afternoon, the next step is a public hearing. At least one board member wants that hearing held in the evening or on a weekend.
I really would like to see personally the whole Stadium Authority be there, and I'd like people to come and express their views one way or the other.
But hopefully they'll have an open mind to the public, because addressing alcohol outside the stadium is not going to fix whatever problems are happening inside.
The proposal would not affect the current football season. Governor Lingle must give the ban final approval. Gas football games, the Aloha Stadium Authority has changed its mind. Gina Mangieri reports members credit better fan behavior as the reason for the reversal.
It's cause for celebration for some. Drinking in the Aloha Stadium parking lot is safe for now. The stadium board voted 6-1 against a ban.
Tailgating is one of the few traditions we do have at the University of Hawaii, and anything that could compromise that, anything that might make that no longer a tradition would have to be really given some thought.
Lieutenant Governor Duke Iona wanted a ban to curb violence and disruptions. He says the issue is not dead.
Public should be on notice that we did address this issue once, and if behavior does get bad in the future, we'll address it again.
The board says it would like to find alternatives to a ban to ensure health and safety.
Because we know there is a problem with drinking, and see what we can do about it.
But incidents were down from 16 to 4 last season.
The public is very aware of what the Aloha Stadium Board is considering, and we're there to enjoy the games. I don't think there will be any need to revisit the ban.
Several board members said the ban would be hard to monitor and fans wouldn't enjoy the game as much.
I have to thank the Lieutenant Governor for even bringing this issue to us, but what I'm happy about is the board did make a decision on what the public wanted.
Iona argues the stadium vote sided with the need to sell tickets. The board says that wasn't their motive, though UH is glad to keep fans who threatened not to renew season tickets if alcohol was banned.
We hope that this will enable people who were contemplating not renewing their tickets, at least they can do it.
Gina Mangieri, KHON2 News.
The Honolulu City Council